Oh, here I am at the beginning of the next turn in the shadow of the Emperor, and I noticed I forgot to deal with this. I forgot to deal with this as well. I moved it over. Yellow's got that. I've got to decide who to make the Emperor, though. And it's kind of a tricky decision. Here, for example, we're looking 2, 4, 6, 7. I've got a pretty good advantage here, but I got 2-point leaders here. Here, on the other hand, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a pretty good advantage, too. I'm going to send... I'm going to send this old man here. And now green gets to come back. His emperor gets to show, or his former emperor gets to show up somewhere. This 15-year-old guy just got deposed, but now he's got to decide where he's going to show up. He can't show up here. That would be one green interesting place. This is, however, as well 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can kill a blue knight and get more power there. Alright, now we're going to grab the incomes, and I don't think there's anything too complex about that, I hope. Well, we actually had a weird situation where yellow had some money saved up, I think $4 or something. They made 6, 7, 8, 9. Ends up putting them above their 12. They lose $1, you know. They could have had more money. That's not a terrible calamity, I guess. Better to have too much. But it does show one of the disadvantages to saving money. Of course, they wouldn't be emperor, perhaps, if they didn't save the money. Now we go on to the aging and the descendants. Well, putting the old man on the emperor's throne didn't really do any good. Had to put somebody else on immediately. That pulled another person out of here, so this has become a weaker holding for them. They're almost going to lose it. I mean, they're 1 point off. Well, now they've got a couple of points left. They've got a couple of knights there. They're pretty potent. Alright, so that was mistaken. But we see a lot of holes, a lot of new spaces taken, and now it's time to generate some descendants. A lot of people generated female children, only blue's going to have a male. And they kind of thought they were screwed, but it turns out they're going to have one. Okay, so what do we see? Well, the first 3 players had pink only. Had female characters, not pink only, but you know what I mean. They had female children. Yellow immediately was able to marry one off. I don't remember who to. Guess that's kind of important. I think they picked a red somewhere. Does that make sense? Maybe down here. This older character. Maybe not. Maybe someone else. And they got accepted because they're kind of behind and got their victory point. But both red and green had trouble finding anyone who would accept. In fact, green went for kind of a younger blue character. Red went, I believe, for this 35-year-old here. This is an advantage being offered to both of them, but a victory point's a pretty significant thing. When somebody's sitting just a point out of the lead, well, tying them in seems kind of painful. Of course, you get an advantage and you're facing someone else who's tied for lead. Well, maybe. So it was kind of a hard choice, but the decision was made. Now, I've moved these up because I think they're going to help me remember where somebody was when they start spending. That's my only hope for their use there, is to help track that. All right, well, we also see a descendant. The blue put a new aristocrat into mains. This is someone who could actually advance to that if we can get some more votes, some more power in there. So they've got kind of the lead now because red's been wiped out of there. Alright, well, let's start the actions, and we'll be starting over with yellow, who's now our emperor. So for opening moves, yellow's trying to preserve his life expectancy. He's got a couple of aging, powerful people. He wanted to protect him because if he dies, that prevents another age reduction. But he has 2 more powerful people to protect as well. As the emperor, he's going to want to do as much of this as he can. He doesn't need to worry too much about this card. And in fact, he's not terribly worried that he's going to lose the Emperorship, because he's holding 8 points. He's got the least of all the different players. So he should be able to convince at least one other person to join to help him. It should be hard for anyone to take that. So chances are that this is kind of a valueless card. Maybe nobody will even take it. So he's less worried about, preserving the title and more about preserving this position for going into turn 5, where he might actually be able to win things. Red extended into here with a new character, giving them the advantage in mains and someone who can take the position. Green did a movement, bringing a couple in, and blue did the same, bringing another couple in from up here, I think. Does that make sense? No, from back here. Basically, they're pulling out of where they don't have much strength. They don't have a chance as far as they saw it. Blue pulls out of here. Well, that makes it possible for green to pull out, but hey, now the movements are gone. We're done with movement. So green is stuck with all these pieces here. Good solid holding in Saxony, but that's all it is. All right, now I think we move on to next round. Got caught up in playing enough that I was kind of not aware that I was bidding. Well, yellow started off by reducing another age. Red said, hey, I want to get one of those, and grabbed that as well. Green built a city here, continuing this challenge. They're at only 3, though. 1, 2, 3, 4 for blue. And leave him alone. He's not there yet. Then for blue, they built a city, and they dumped it over here, making the challenge for mains even again. Now yellow, and this is where I kind of screwed up, jumped in and dropped a person here. And that puts them at 3, up there with green for this. Somebody could knock blue's knight out, and green might well do that. Placing another piece. Why is yellow playing there in particular? Doesn't look like they can win, right? I mean, they've got the 2 imperial cities. That's cool, but, well, it's because there's 2 aging people who are liable to be out of this. Now, there's a chance blue could save the one guy using that sort of wild card to replay one of the anti-aging cards. And red spent $1 to drop a knight right in the tower here, giving him the lead again, very clearly. Green bought themselves another city, another victory point, dropped it here. This is where they're going to keep it. They're able to keep this territory, so they can move people out of it as need be, perhaps. But at least they won't be losing gold to someone else next turn who owns it, like they will with this city, because blue's going to own that. In fact, green could have made the choice to attack here. If they did, what happens? Well, they make a 3-way tie with yellow having 3 as well as blue and green. Oh no, green would have 4. Wow, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Green wanted to do that. 5. Alright, give them the $4 back. And they give just 1 victory point back for the city. Yeah, green wanted to do that. I wasn't thinking there. It's a hard game because you got to count all the time. Green spends 3. They get a young dude, put him here, and now they're at 3, 4. Yellow's at 3, blue's at 3. Blue loses this knight. Let me make sure blue wanted to do whatever it is they did. They did an anti-aging action on this guy. Does that make sense? Now that they lost the city, yeah, I think so. I don't think they can really help themselves there. Is that the only guy they have who's aging, though? Yes, it is. So no, they do not want to do the anti-aging action because they don't want to... they could get a blue card instead, which would give them a new character. So instead, they'll buy a victory point card. And that gets us there. Alright, back around again. Okay, let's see. Yellow played a marriage and put someone, they had someone young. No, they didn't. That's not a marriage. They played a new character somewhere. They look the same to me, pink with a wagon or a horse or something. I guess that's who they slipped in here. What did they do this time? Oh, they fired off one of their abilities, I guess. I don't know which one. No, that doesn't look right either. Maybe I didn't take a card. Maybe I didn't do anything. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. They dropped this guy in earlier. I don't know what they did with their point. They're a little worried about taking this, so they didn't. But maybe they should have. Did they build a city? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I can't tell what they did, and I don't remember. And it's very easy to screw up in a game like this, where if you don't do the thing exactly right, something gets screwed up. Alright, well, we'll pretend they did nothing. I'm sure they did something, because they seem to be down a buck from where they were. Maybe they played a knight somewhere. Doesn't look like it. I have no idea. Alright, well, everybody else did stuff, but now that I spent my brain on that, I can't remember these as easily either. But red went and got somebody married over here. Green grabbed the card and said, I'm done. Blue spent their last point to grab a victory point. So now we're down to yellow and red fighting it out. Now yellow's pretty much got things guaranteed, and we'll see what ends up happening. I don't know what happened with their last turn. So yellow spent the last of their money, and obviously they didn't buy a city before, so I don't know what happened. Picking up another young guy and a city here. That's not enough to really make a challenge here, but maybe in the future it will be. We'll see. Alright, let's see where our points align now, because everybody's done. We've got our contest here between green, who's trying to regain the throne, and yellow, who's trying to hold it. But because yellow bought a city, they're up to 10 victory points. They're in the same realm as red. Now, granted, we have blue and green ahead. Blue has 14, green has 12. Everybody's gonna probably go for yellow still, except for green. But yellow's not that far behind anymore. Alright, well, let me do the power redispositions in the Gray Eminence. Doesn't help because he doesn't have a piece for it. He took it so that he, actually I don't think he's allowed to take it. Maybe he is. I don't know. It's not worth looking up. Because it doesn't affect anything whether he takes it or not. He's getting a girl either way. Okay, so let's go and see what the powers are like. Stupid red is cursing themselves for getting married here. They can't become elector now because it's an Episcopal diocese. Sucks to be them. I'm not going to try to retrograde and try to fix that. Okay, well, the only thing that changed hands was the Palatinate, which gave 2 victory points to green for picking that up off of blue. And then the elections, well, with green sitting on 14 points, it's a little uglier. That's tied for the lead again. Everybody definitely went for yellow. Yellow gets to hold on to the electorate. They get 1 point for that and $2. And now we move the round marker, and we have one last turn of the game, and I'll load this one up.